local lawmakers voice concerns on how legislation in Springfield should hold juveniles accountable for their actions. This comes as Missouri police questioned 2 juvenile suspects in connection with a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Parade Wednesday that left at least 1 person dead and several others injured. One Senate Republican says juveniles need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, while one House Democrat argues for parents to do more.
We have passed law after law protecting young people. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't want them to have a criminal record. And so there's virtually no consequences to young people committing serious crimes.
I'm not sure how popular this is, but parents have to take responsibility to a certain extent for their kids. You know, I take responsibility for my kids, and when they screwed up, they got punished. And I think, you know, to a certain extent, these parents have to take responsibility for the children they decided to have.